Hello and a warm welcome back to the Kilohertz Mercedes channel, and welcome to another one of my how-to videos. Today's video we're going to be covering Mercedes hardtops from the last 15 years or so. If you have an SLK or an SL like I've got here, it's highly likely you've got sun damage on the rear section. Now the problem is the sun is actually burning through the lacquer and actually damaging the car. My car was out in Spain for a couple of years prior to my ownership, and you can actually see that it's actually burnt through. You can see the outline of a Nürburgring sticker. So in this video I'm going to be giving you three options of how you can actually fix and replace this. First is the actual cover it with vinyl wrap. Secondly, you can remove it, sand it down, and thirdly, just to simply remove the panel. And in this video we're going to be covering all three.
Okay, to start with the cheapest option, vinyl wrapping. Always buy the highest quality vinyl wrap you can afford. Now generally the higher the price the better the quality product. Now I've already cut a rough template here prior to filming of the size I require for the panel. Now I've gone with the gloss black here to match the OEM look. However, you might want to go with matte black or even carbon fibre effect. If you're not confident with cutting it to the correct size, then you can purchase pre-cut templates online in various different styles. Again in gloss black or carbon fibre style. Just make sure that you get the correct generation of SL or SLK for your car. With vinyl wrapping, it's extremely important that you take your time and prepare the bodywork in advance, as well as having the correct tools for the job, such as this fabric tipped squeegee, so I don't scratch the wrap. Now if you'd like some more information on vinyl wrapping and how you do it, check out my other how-to video, which I'll link on screen now. Prior to filming this section, I've already off camera wiped down the surface with an alcohol wipe, ensuring it's completely clean and free of any dust or contaminants. Work your way down the panel from either end, carefully removing any air bubbles from underneath the wrap with the squeegee. Now to help this process you can use a heat source, and instead of using a dedicated heat gun which is likely to melt the wrap really quickly, I'm using my other half's hairdryer to soften the wrap up, easing the application process. Once fitted to the car, a major issue may occur, which is incidentally the reason why I do not recommend wrapping this panel. As you can see here, the outline of the lacquer damage is still visible through the wrap, as the area underneath has not been sanded in advance. Vinyl wrap will imprint exactly what's underneath it and make it visible on top. Now if you purchase really thick vinyl wrap, this may not be the case. However, the thicker the wrap you buy, it becomes more or less malleable and is more likely to tear and will be a lot more difficult fitting. This wrap which I had laying around from previous jobs appears to be far too thin once it's been heated and put in place. To avoid this from happening, I'd recommend sanding the panel down correctly in advance, ensuring that it's completely smooth with various different grades of sandpaper, thus avoiding this from happening. However, if you go to all the trouble of sanding the panel in the first place, then you might as well go ahead with the second option for replacing these sun damaged panels. So my second option will be to respray the panel. First however, you will need to remove the panel from the car. Now this is the most time consuming option of the three, but if you do it carefully then you should be getting excellent results and it will look as good as OEM. So to removing the panels, make sure that you have a plastic trim removal tool to avoid damaging any of the trim. Do not use a metal screwdriver under any circumstances to avoid damaging the trim. Also make sure that your boot lid is fully open before you start this process. Now extremely carefully prise up the inner corner at the very bottom of the panel, the side nearest to the window glass. Now this side is designed to be prized upwards without damaging any of the clips. As soon as you have this corner upwards and unclipped, again very slowly and carefully you can pull the entire panel downwards. Now that's not up and outwards, just downwards. If you do it very carefully, and you should be able to pull it out without damaging any of the clips. Each clip tightly tucks underneath the corresponding tabs on the car's bodywork, as you can see here. Pulling the trim outwards towards you will simply break one of these clips, so again ensure that you only pull it downwards. Once you've removed the old panels, use a detailing brush to remove the years of dirt and grime which will have accumulated underneath. And here's some footage showing you what's underneath the panels, showing you the clip locations. Now remember to start the process at the bottom corner closest to the window. As you can see, you can safely prise the panel towards you at this corner as it doesn't have a breakable clip. Next up, I sand the panel down. I did this to remove all the roughness caused from the UV lacquer damage. This is what was transferring through the wrap earlier in the video and what was visible. By sanding it, I'll be making it perfectly smooth, so we'll eliminate this problem once we start spraying it. First up, a couple of coats of primer, which I sanded between coats with some fine grade sandpaper. Then followed by the next day, some gloss black spray paint. After a couple of coats of black paint had fully dried, I then repeated the process with some lacquer clear coat. And here's the final result. Not perfect by a long shot, as you can still see the pitting in the lacquer. I could use a polisher to get it all looking perfect, but I'll admit I did rush this process slightly in order to have it ready for the filming of this video. But you do get the idea. Now if I was intending on using it on the car, I would have taken a lot longer with my prep work to make sure I get it perfect. Now the reason I haven't done this is due to the final part of this video. And lastly, the final and most expensive option is to simply purchase a pair of replacement panels from your local Mercedes parts department. Now at the time of creating this video, they're £35.60 each plus VAT. Now I say expensive, but on the scale of things, at just over £70 for a pair is worth every penny. Brand new parts make the car look as good as new and as good as the day it left the factory. £70 for a pair of Mercedes OEM is a bargain. The part numbers which are on screen now are for an R231 SL. Check with your local Mercedes parts department if you have a different model. Refitting them is the reversal of the removal, of course. Remember to position the two uppermost or highest clips in place under the corresponding grooves on the bodywork at the top of the roofline. Then make sure that the bottom corner, that's the outside of the car, is in place. Once all these three clips are in position, you firm but carefully use your palm to slide the entire panel upwards. And then remember that the bottom window side corner is the very last part which needs to be pushed into place to lock the whole panel in place. And there we have it. Job done. Now I decided from the offset a while back that I'd go down the option of getting the OEM replacement panels from Mercedes. Yes, this is the most expensive option at just over £70 for a pair, but it's easily the best option in my opinion. Vinyl wrapping, although looks fairly good, it's never 100%. And although I did kind of mess up for the making of this video the spray option, I'd go with the spray option as the second best. However, be aware how easy it is to snap off those clips when you're removing the old panels, so be careful. The final result looks as good as new, as good as the day it left the factory with the replacement OEM parts, I'm sure you agree. Now if you enjoyed this video and you want to see other SL how-to videos, check on my other videos on the channel. Better still, click on that subscribe button which is completely free and you join the channel and you're notified as soon as I upload new videos and content. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up and until next time, thanks very much for watching, cheers.